Magic of storytelling in marketing. In the age of ever evolving markets, one effective strategy that has survived since time immortal is storytelling. Marketing is the process of promoting, distributing, and selling products. Imagine a marketer or a promoter coming to you with all the statistical data, all the numbers, all the charts, and all the graphs, and explaining to you why their product is still in the market and why you and I should be a part of their brand. Most of the time, I'll be bored, and the other time, the information will just pass over my head. That's where the stories come in. Stories allow brands to communicate their value, establish connections, and inspire us to take actions. Just as the stories are remembered, so are the brand. Storytelling is a timeless art that has been used for centuries to convey messages. So how do brand engage audience through stories? Well, they take the 4 steps that is shown in the screen to engage with the audience. The first one is to capture the attention. Unlike the boring data that a person can portray or the person has when the information is shared through a story, it captures the attention of a buyer or the customer. They are more curious as to what happens in the end, which keeps the attention undivided on the product. When people remember stories better than the raw data that you can present to them, than the graphs and than the charts, people remember stories better. When you listen to a story, the story invokes emotion. The stories connect emotionally with the customer. They they experience joy, they experience pain, they experience pride, and many other emotions that comes with the story. So when they're emotionally connected, the customers are able to recall and relate themselves to the product, which leads to more buying of the product. Through the story, the marketer is able to talk about his brand identity, about his product, and about how valuable his product is without having his customer become bored. So, any storytelling should have key elements. So, the key elements of effective storytelling are characters, conflicts, and resolutions. Let's take Nike for an example. Nike, for their campaign Just Do It, always uses athletes who are very famous in their particular field. So these athletes are portrayed to have a conflict, a problem, probably a self doubt or maybe a injury. So there's some problem that they have to overcome to have a victory. So then comes the resolution. Resolution is when they overcome the hurdles, when they overcome their problems, they are able to portray themselves as a victor. Through this story, Nike was able to portray himself as a person of perseverance and determination, of a person of boldness and individuality. So every story or every narrative of a brand will have a character, a conflict, and a resolution. And we will always be kept wanting to see how the story ends. So, as we saw earlier, a story or a narrative makes a person emotionally connected with the brand. So, few of the emotions that brand are empathy, nostalgia, joy, celebration, love. You can also talk about pride, confidence, motivation, many other emotions. Empathy is when you are able to put yourself in the feet or in the shoes of others and experience how they feel. For example, PNG's always has a campaign called hashtag like girls. When you see those ads or when you see those campaigns, you'll be able to have empathy towards the other women, or you'll be able to connect yourself to the other person. Nostalgia. Nostalgia is when you are able to remember your past fond memories. One good example of an advertisement that makes good use of nostalgia is Paperboat. When you see the advertisements, you are always reminded of your younger self and the carefree life that you led. Celebrations. What is a celebration without sharing Haldirams, right? Haldirams have very strategically portrayed themselves as a sweet that is gifted during part during festivals. So that when there is a Diwali or when there is any celebration, you always share a Haldirams with your relative or with your friend and your family. Joy and partying. When it comes to party, you always remember Coca-Cola. What is a party without Coca-Cola? Coke has portrayed himself as a brand that is used in the party or that is used in the celebration. When we talk about love, we can talk about Dairy Milk. What are the different styles of storytelling? One is oral storytelling. The oldest way of telling a story is oral storytelling. It resembles singing a song, probably sharing a tale in front of an audience, or even doing a skit, a folk skit, in front of numerous people. Today, storytelling is alive through podcasts, through radios, and through social media platforms like TikTok, Instagrams, where people share jokes and personal stories. Written storytelling. This is a common way of sharing stories. So think of books, newspapers, banners, blogs, articles, anything. Wherever a story is portrayed written is a written storytelling. The writer walks you through the story. And when you read through the story, you will be imagining as in how it happened in our own ways. People read them for enjoyment, for learning, for discovering new things. So, writing written storytelling is widely used in marketing through articles, blogs, and online articles. Visual storytelling. Pictures have been telling stories for ages. Visual storytelling includes movies, advertisements, videos, and social medias. So, animations sometimes brands use a lot of ads and social media posts to share their stories. Digital storytelling. We'll have to look into digital storytelling more detailedly because most of the storytelling and most of the advertisement today takes place in a digital platform. The digital storytelling takes place under two circumstances. One is social media and the other one is interactive contents. Right? In social media platforms like Instagram, TikToks allow brands to share shorts, impactful stories and engage consumers instantly. Like, for example, you can see Instagram stories where people say, I've lost 70 kgs in the past 3 months. And if you want to lose weight, you can also follow this, probably this brand or this company or this influencer and many other things, right? So, interactive contents. Brands increasingly use interactive storytelling, allowing customers to engage with the narrative actively. Right? For example, if you have come across choose your own adventure style of ads, where there are lots of options with which you can choose, and you can find your own personalized advertisement coming right up. Use storytelling in marketing. Well, tease your audience. Well, get them to the end. When you tell a story, keep the story interesting in such a way that your audience will want to see the end of the story. Tease your audience. Keep them in the loop and build curiosity in them. Promise them that there is a solution at the end and encourage audience to explore further. Don't show them, tell them. Don't show them data. Don't show them raw data and graphs and charts. Show them why your brand is important. Show them why your brand is special. Demonstrate your brands. You can see demonstrating way of storytelling when it comes to automobile advertisements. Relate with your audience. Relate with them through their problems. Tell them how you also or your customers are also facing the same trouble, have found solution in the brand, and leverage data visuals. Connect complex data into engaging charts and infographics. Personalize your message. You cannot always be creating your own storytelling advertisements or storytelling marketing tactics from the scratch. So try to use reusable assets. You should have a base through which you will be able to easily connect different demographic peoples or different audiences through and personalize the stories for their interest. Consistent branding. Maintain the brand identity as touch points. And time saving. Quickly adopt storylines for each scenario. You cannot be building new storyline for every new customer line or every new target audience. So have a storyline already ready and develop it according to your target audience. Just in storytelling. Authenticity. So the story that is told should have the values of the brand embedded on them. It is very important that the value of the brand, the identity of the brand is portrayed in the stories. Oversaturation. So it is very difficult to create unique stories that will stand out because many people, many brands, many advertising agencies, many companies also want to portray their brands through storytelling. To create a unique content, unique story is becoming very difficult because storytelling is being saturated mostly by most of the brands. Cultural sensitivity. While creating contents, it's very important that we do not culturally, emotionally affect other culture people. It is very important that the story or the values of the brand portray is culturally inclusive. Best practices in social storytelling. Know your audience. Know they know what they don't like and know what they will value more. When you know your audience, you will be able to um, construct a story that will connect more with the audience. Be authentic. Align your stories with the mission, vision of the brand. Incorporate emotions. Connect to the customers emotionally. Connect their emotions with the story or the story with their emotions. Channel approach. Do not stick to only one channel of advertising. Connect through various channels, reach audiences where they are more active. Encourage user participation. Give them a space where they can participate in your storytelling. Give them a chance to be a part of your story. Storytelling and customer journey. How will storytelling connect the customer journey to the brand? First, they'll be aware of your brand. When the story is first portrayed, they'll be aware of the brand. They will get introduced to the brand, and then they will start considering the story. They'll start to understand the story, and they'll start to leverage stories to drive purchase decisions. They will start to relate to the story with the decisions. And once they buy the product, they will become a loyal customers through the stories again. The future of brand storytelling. How will brand storytelling be in the future? With AR and VR coming up, storytelling will be more impressive, more expressive in the future. So with AR and VR, we also saw interactive storytellings. So connecting both, you'll also have personalizations in your storytelling. The storytelling will be able to make tailor made for every individual. And omni-channel narratives. So the stories will not just be present in one channel, but it will make itself present in every touch point of the customer. Here are some examples of good storytelling campaigns that I found interesting. So, the power of storytelling, Nike, just do it. We've just read through it. Apple's innovative narratives. So, most of Apple's advertisements, when you read through it or when you watch through it, you'll see that the innovative person or the more creative person, more intellectual person will always act for Apple. That's how the story will go. So people with more intellectual uh, aspects or more innovative thoughts will always adapt to Apple. So again, Coca-Cola, happiness and togetherness, we've already seen in the previous slides. I would also like to talk about this one advertisement called Disney, where the magic gets real. Um, One wonderful advertisement where you can see no real characters, no human characters portrayed, but just animations and uh, beautiful portrayal of musics and information, just getting the story going. Most of the wonderful stories don't even need a narration. You will understand the story as it is portrayed or as it is displayed to you. One good example like that will be uh, advertisements against abuse. So swipe, or if you've come across swipe your card advertisements where when you swipe your card, a person who is abused gets free. Those advertisements uh, don't usually use words, but the information or the story is portrayed very beautifully. So I would like to leave you with this quote by Robert McKee: storytelling is the most powerful way to put ideas into the world today. And please don't forget to check right below where the notes for today's video, along with a test yourself small quiz, is present for you. Do explore and do try to answer the quiz and find where you stand. Thank you and keep exploring.